What's it like returning after all these years?
I mean, it feels amazing to be back. Just familiar with the system, familiar with the coaching staff. Feels good. Feels great to be back. Absolutely.
Do you feel like there's any unfinished business here?
Absolutely. I think it's some unfinished business. Just the culture Miami Heat possesses kind of fits the way I play. A lot of tenacity, a lot of intensity, competing at a really high level. So I feel right at home here.
Yeah, Coach. First of all, welcome back. Second of all, even Spo mentioned downstairs. He was a different coach at the time. You were a young, impetuous rookie. Maybe if you didn't butt heads, it was a little different. He said he's changed as a coach. You've matured as a player. How different does it feel this time? And sort of what was it like the first go-round when you were barely here after the pandemic season and then you were gone? Compare the two situations.
I mean, I think from my point of view, I was a very young player. You know what I mean? And then, especially joining the team that just came from the finals, and then you have COVID, pandemic. There's a lot going on. A lot of things out of my control, and getting thrown right into that right away from my rookie year. I've learned a lot in the league. You've been around, you play a lot of basketball. You've seen a lot of basketball. You learn. You got a lot of experience, and I've grown a lot as a basketball player. So coming back here, like I said, this is a place where I think, my competitive spirit, my tenacity fits right in. I think that's why I was drafted here from the beginning. So just seeing how I can contribute to the team and help my teammates, flourish in whatever way that I can help them.
How do you explain, you left here, you became a playoff player, then you went to New York when Mitchell Robinson was out, they relied on you. And yet here we were in free agency, lack of suitors, non-guaranteed contract, having to come in on a minimal deal. What's the whirlwind been like? Is it a little confusing to you to go from rotation player on a playoff team to looking for work in September?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot going on. I mean, you look across the league, it's not just me, it's a lot of guys, even to this moment that, a lot of guys that you look at, you question why are they still free agents. You're talking about a past MVP, but it's out of the player's contract. I think is based on what the structure of the deal is right now. I think both players and organizations are trying to figure it out. I think eventually everything will fall into place. That's just what the NBA is. At first, it's a lot of uncertainties, but then once the season starts, everything kind of falls back into place. So, I'm excited to be back. I think it's going to be a great season. Like I said before, the fit is amazing. That's how I was originally drafted here, and I'm just looking forward to continuing my career.
How so when you say the fit's amazing? What do you do differently now, or how are you different than when we saw you in the 2020-21 season?
I think what I do different now is, like you said, I've been to the playoffs pretty much every year in my NBA career. Played a lot of playoff basketball, and I've gained a lot of experience in that sense. Just being able to compete at a high level. You saw in Toronto, we went to the playoffs, had a really good series in New York as well, Eastern Conference Finals. So just been around playoff basketball, been around high intensity games, and being able to compete in those games. I think that's helped me grow as a player, and I could bring that to this team, and also, like I said, help my teammates in whatever way I can to help them flourish.
With that non-guaranteed contract, is that a chip on your shoulder, and does it give you something to prove now as you enter camp?
For me, it's just coming in, doing my job. Right now, like I said, I've gained a lot of experience. On the other hand, the non-guaranteed is just where the league is at right now. Teams and players are trying to figure out, best ways to move forward. How to, stay out of the luxury tax and all that kind of things. But like I said, all that stuff is gonna eventually even out. That's not a doubt in my mind, because that's just how the NBA is. We're talking about 2-3 months from now, everything is kind of going to fall back into place, and guys are going to figure it out, teams are going to figure it out, and we're going to go back to how it always was. I don't want to say a chip on my shoulder. I already play, whether I'm a, guaranteed, non-guaranteed contract. I already play with a chip on my shoulder. So for me, it's just going out there and do what I do best.
In spite of being on a not guaranteed deal, do you expect to be on the team? Does it seem likely? Is that your understanding that you'll be on the team?
I mean, I don't think there's anything guaranteed. I mean, the word itself is unguaranteed. So it's just going out there and doing my job, like I said, and help my teammates flourish, in ways that I can.
And the fact that there wasn't a lot of veteran depth here in the power rotation, did that factor into your thinking, Precious, about possibly seeing an opportunity here for backup minutes at 4 and 5?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is coupled with my experience with the staff, a couple of my teammates as well from when I was here my rookie year. There's a lot of familiarity in that sense. So I'm already familiar with the system. So it was an easy choice, I would say, or easier choice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.